Yeah, you know what's going on, man. It's your boy, the Triple B. Yeah, spitting truth and lyrics, man. Here I am. Right. So, I don't necessarily want to talk about this fight, but a lot of people have been asking me. I've been getting a lot of messages, WhatsApp. Who do you think's going to win? Conor Benn or Eubanks? And my first thought is, right? This is another continuation of the fact that boxing's become entertainment. It's become WWE. It's become what sells. And I understand that, man. These guys risk their health, their life, and they're taking real punches. And, you know, they got to make as much money as they can whilst they're active. And I don't have a problem with this fight in the sense that if I was Eubanks Jr. or Conor Benn, I would definitely take this fight. If I was a promoter, I'd definitely take this fight. Why? Because both of them are going to earn a lot of money. Yeah? And that's okay. But is it a serious fight? No, of course it's not, man. Come on, man. You know, the guys competed as high as super middleweight. These guys competed as a welterweight. Okay, it's like a catchweight fight. I think it's 157 pounds. And the rehydration clause. I mean, you know, Eubank would not make this purse fighting against a world champion. He's not exactly lining up in the top contenders to fight. Same with Conor Benn. Like Eddie Hearns knows the welterweight division is actually stacked with talent. And, you know, he would make maybe 1 million. They could get £1 million purse out of Conor Benn to fight any of the top guys at welterweight. But the likelihood is he's not going to win. And this is almost a no lose situation. That's not totally correct, because if Eubanks loses, it's bad. But he's 32, you know. We're talking about... so that would be a lot harder. But for Conor Benn, if he did get beat, he'd be like, oh, well, you know, he's fighting a guy who's way bigger and blah, blah, and he could carry on. So Eddie Hearns obviously thought, you know, rubbing his hands, you know, the money for this big promotion, for this big fight. And he's like, you know, Eddie Hearns hasn't got a lot of superstars left. Yeah? And I think he's cashing out anyway. And he's looking to cash out Benn. So why would he not catch up Benn for 5 mil purse, right? Rather than throw him in for a 1 mil purse against, Errol Spence or Terence Crawford or whatnot. So from a business perspective, and basically pro boxing is business, right? You have to be real about it, and you have to understand that, and you have to respect that. You know, it's not like tennis. You go in tennis, you go into, you go in against the big performers at the Grand Slams, and, you know, if you do well, if your talent gets you far, you get paid. But boxing is very different from other sports. It's like, as I said, WWE, right? It's like you get the pay that you can get for yourself. So I don't hate on Benn, Eddie Hearns, Eubanks. I understand the fight. Does it mean anything? No. It's ridiculous. All right? But, you know, obviously, there's people from my era. So I watched the original Eubank Benn fights. And, man, I can't tell you, man, how involved people were. You know, but this is back in the day when you didn't have many channels, and they'd be like, and everyone was talking about it. And they watched it. I think it was on a Sunday night, weirdly, right? But everyone was talking about it. I had a shit job, right, in retail, and everyone was talking about it. Not the women. I mean, the women would talk about makeup and stuff, all the same. But all the men would talk about the fight, you know. And when we come in on Monday, we was talking about the fight result. And the first fight, you know, was a real back and forth war, you know. And you know, I still think that could have gone either way. Ben got stopped, which I think was a reasonable call. But, and afterwards, Eubank and his tongue is split up. He's like, marry me, Karen. Marry me, Karen. His wife that he later cheated on many times. And she's Emily Eubank's mother, who is now going out with Frank Smith from Frank Warren. It's funny how things work out, man. I don't know. Sorry, does it work for Frank Warren or does it work for her? And it doesn't matter, man, because he's smashing Emily Eubank's Frank Smith. There's that interest. It appeals to the generation, my generation, and it'll be an easy sell. From a business perspective, as I said, right? Plenty of people are going to want to buy it, and fair enough. I think it's on DAZN. I don't know where it's pay-per-view. I think it probably will be. DAZN is a busted flush anyway, because it's they tried. It's a streaming service, right? But they tried to get ahead of themselves. The technology was there, but there weren't enough buyers at the time. People of say the Chip B era won't necessarily know how to get DAZN, but they'll know how to get Sky Sports. They probably got it because they're idiots. They're probably, it's easy to see how it's an easy sell on Sky. But with regards to DAZN, I don't know, man. I don't know. Obviously, they're desperate to get subscribers. But to me, it seems like a business is going to fail. They went too early. They should have done low-level shows for a few years. They should have waited until people were used to the technology, were used to having an app on their TV, right? And we're used to watching casting, events. But I do not think at this point there are enough people that clued up. So, and what will happen in the fight? Well, I know there's a catch weight clause. So I think it's 157 pounds they got to get down to. That's 10 pounds up a weight for Conor Benn. That's 3 pounds lower a weight for Chris Eubank Jr. So the advantage with Eubanks, and he's a lot bigger. I remember like a year ago when I used to be part of a forum, and I said, the fight they want to aim for, right, is Chris Eubank vs Conor Benn. And everyone's going, oh, you're a mug, all the different weights, it will never happen. Well, here it is, man. Here it is. Chubby. Chubby ain't no seer. It's not like he looks in a crystal ball and knows what's going to happen. But the man's been around. So we have this fight. Would I buy it? Yeah, probably. Out of boredom. But that's because Chubby's like, he's like, he spends a lot of time at home. He's a neat. He's like, I could get a stream, of course. But I don't like to drop when streams drop. I only use a stream for a wax show. For this, would I buy it? It depends on the price. I wouldn't pay above £25 for it. Yeah? And I just think it's a bit one-sided. I just think that Conor Benn is a welterweight, right? And he's fighting the middleweight. He's dropping by a few pounds. And there's a rehydration clause and so on. Well, fair enough. But, these days with modern technology and nutrition, it's very easy to manage the weight, right? And I just think the size difference is too much. The size difference. So I think Eubank Jr. will win by stoppage. Conor Benn has been hurt by lower, journeyman and stuff like that. But he's looked pretty good actually recently. Yeah, I just think the weight difference is way too much, and it's a large difference in boxing. A few pounds, 5 pounds, 8 pounds, all this kind of stuff is a lot in boxing. It's on the street. A guy weighs a half a stone more than you. You don't think any different from it. But in boxing, it is. So I believe Chris Eubank Jr. Will stop Conor Benn later in the rounds. It will be a half exciting fight though, because Ben will in the early rounds throw loads of punches and this kind of thing, and you know what it's like. The commentators get all excited and and you get into the groove and you're like, oh man, this is crazy. This is like the old days. But yeah, ultimately, Chris Eubank Jr. has to be too big. He will stop Conor Benn around 8 to 10. And, Conor Benn won't lose anything, because he lost to a middleweight. Chris Eubank Jr. won't gain anything, but he won't lose nothing. And he'll certainly gain 5 million pounds out of it. So, as I said, from a business perspective, it makes total sense. From a boxing perspective, it's exceptionally lame. It's just another fake fight, another celebrity fight, another WWE fight. As I said, this thing started with Rocky Balboa 6, when Antonio Tarver fought Rocky Balboa. It's like, and that was a massive fight. I know it's the movies, but that's the whole point. It was a massive fight, and it would be a massive fight, if it was real. And people get excited by this and the hype. You gotta understand, mostly when it comes to how excited people are by the fight, it's not about how good the fight is. It's about how much the media hypes it and gets them like excited. That's what it really is. We are at the mercy of the manipulation of the media, right? And the media will blow this up. Everyone be excited by the time of the fight. The Triple B might even be. It's at least interesting. But, the reality is it's another hype contest. It's another WWE hype contest. It's nonsense. But, what can you say, man? This is modern boxing. This is the modern media. And that's all we got.